Hello, welcome to Psychopath in Your Life. My name is Dianne Emerson. I'm the author of the book Psychopaths in Our Lives, My Interviews. You can find a copy of my book in paperback on Amazon, or you can get a free copy at my website, psychopathinyourlife.com. And you can also find my contact information there. And you might want to also take a look, if you're on audio, at some of the shows I've done on YouTube. Because of graphics, they're not here on audio, and the same name, Psychopath in Your Life. I'm going to be doing a series of smaller shows because I'm trying to wrap my head around. I'm still trying to process how they pulled this off, okay? I don't think these are the work of geniuses, okay? And I still believe they're making it up as they go along. But what I'm curious about is how exactly did we get so tricked by all this? A lot of it's been a case of projection. This ranting on and on about this is a great industrialized country, the richest country on the planet, and blah, 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 blah. But that doesn't really show up in the research that I've been doing as far as what this country is all about. And for example, we use a lot of projection here. Projection means putting what you are onto others. And calling other countries shitholes is what famously was said from this place here. I would argue that what we're looking at here is a shithole nation, okay? And today I'm going to be talking about housing evictions and homelessness. The CDC just approved for people to not be evicted in this country for the next 3 months. Well, that's going to be a massive problem in the future, because how are these people going to pay this rent back? And not all the landlords are abiding by it. Some people are still getting evicted. I believe, and this is only my opinion, that a lot of people never really recovered from 2008, so we got a lot of wobbly people out there, okay? I believe they're extending it not to help people, but they're setting up the small landlords to be gobbled up by the big ones. Well, if you have people not paying rent and you have landlords who are mom and pop landlords, how long will this go on? Is this the American dream or the American nightmare? So you'll have to take a look for yourself. There's cities are funneling money into the homeless situation as it grows out of control. But it's right now being sold as a blue state, red state deal. In other words, the red state people are saying that the homelessness is out of control in the blue states. That would be California and those different states. Well, that's not what it is, okay? 2008 already put a lot of people out of their homes, okay? The crushing really started back then, if you want to look at historically how this got going. The feds are saying no inflation on the horizon. The stock market is booming. Happy times are here again. Does anyone use their own eyes or ears? Just do a search around. You have Google Maps, okay? You can actually go to cities and zoom around yourself and look. Does this look like a rich, developed country? Does this look like people who are concerned about other people? I would argue it is quite the opposite. But let me give you a little example here of what San Francisco is doing right now. First of all, the cops are being told to stand down. I've been talking about this for a very long time. Petty crimes are not being prosecuted. People in San Francisco are not able to, through laws and stuff, to move the homeless population. So basically, it is setting up as a camp all over these big cities. So what's happening is that the people are fleeing the cities because of working at home, so it's provided the streets as a place. Well, what's going to happen with all these people on the streets? Well, they're doing crazy things. San Francisco is now trying to fund these tent cities. Yes, you heard it, people living in tents. And they've already spent more than $300 million on that, but they're not going to be eligible for federal reimbursement because of this arguing between blue and red states. But some lawmakers say the program is too expensive. Because the city is facing a projected $650 million budget deficit over the next 2 years. So what's going to happen with the people? Obviously, they're not going to be funding it. So let's talk a little bit about how this started. It did not start last week. It did not start in 2008. This has been going on in this country for a very long time. You may have heard the term skid row or skid road. It refers to an area of a city where people live who are on the skids. It derives from a logging term. loggers would transport their logs to a nearby river by sliding them down roads from greased skids. So we have skid rows in a lot of different cities. Some of the skid rows have been paved over the years, but let me give you a little historic about how long this kind of human behavior toward other vulnerable people has been going on. Skid Row in Los Angeles contains one of the largest stable populations of homeless people in the United States and has been known for its condensed housing population since the 1930s. You heard me right, 1930s. That would have been 20 years before I was even born, okay? Its long history of police raids, targeted city initiatives, and homelessness advocacy make it one of the most notable districts in Los Angeles. But we're all becoming Skid Row is my point here, okay? This 54-block area in downtown Los Angeles became Skid Row in the late 1800s, which was when the Union Rescue Mission first opened its doors. This particular area was an ideal congregation spot for hobos, aimless rail riders, transient workers, and people running away from past lives because it was the last stop on the train for the whole country. That's how Skid Row in Los Angeles would have been the last stop before Mexico, right? The area is also known as Central City East. As of 2019, the count of the population of the district was about 4,800 people, but, don't pay attention to counts really, because who can really tell? But anyway, so look around for yourself. Do you really believe that there's going to be shelter for people or animals in our future? I would really caution you to rethink that one. The cities are not having enough money to even pay for the people. Do we think they're going to keep housing the pets? So I got some more thinking to do. I'm not sure that some of these people I'm not sure it's what we really think it is, okay? Just like I'm not really sure all these diseases that children are getting are what we think it is. There was a time that I actually thought that autism was vaccine related. I'm not really sure about that. See, that's the thing about research. When new information shows up, it's time to take a look at it. So I'm not really sure about a lot of things these days. And I think that there's a lot more here that we need to talk about. So be safe out there, and I'll chat with you soon. I'll join the comments. Goodbye for now.